Hey YouTube, what's going on? And welcome back to Cairo and his things. Today, we're going to be looking at the Wurkkos TD01. Let's get right into the dimensions on this light. So as far as size, we are looking at 152 millimeters from top to bottom in length. We're looking at 59 millimeters max width or diameter on this. So that's on your head right there, and obviously significantly smaller on the tail of the light. And as far as weight, we're looking at 200 grams without battery. Now, the battery that it takes is a 21700 battery, which can be accessed by unscrewing the tail cap. And it does have USB-C recharging right here on this back port. Not my favorite flap in the world, I'll be honest with you. I really like these more discreet little flaps they've been going with, where it's just a little flap that goes sideways. But this one I feel is a little bit easier to accidentally rip up with your finger and take the flap up because of that right there. But overall, still glad to see that it's USB-C recharging. It does have a battery indicator, so if you turn the light on, you'll see mine's a steady green right there. So as far as battery indicator level, if it's green, it's 100 to 50% battery remaining. If it's red, we're at 50 to 20% battery remaining. And if it's flashing red, we're at under 20%. And you'll see that that indicator only stays on for a few seconds. Now, taking a look at the head of the light, inside here, you initially can note that we definitely have a TIR lens in there. And we're looking at an SFT40 emitter down in there. So SFT40 with TIR means that we're going to be able to throw a long, narrow beam with pretty much no spill at all. This is going to get you a lot closer to something like an LEP, or at least give you kind of a taste of what that would be like. Now on the bezel, I found it kind of interesting because this is listed as a stainless steel bezel, but to me it just looks like it's the same material, the same matte finish. I mean, it feels hard and durable, but I don't know if that's actual stainless steel or not. So I don't know if there's some confusion there or what the deal is. But overall, though, that point aside, I really like the shape of the bezel, and I like that they stuck it on there. It's a good bezel, so I like that. Now, moving down the light, here on the side switch, we've got a plastic side switch. It's got a good responsive click to it when you do click it in, but I will say it's got quite a bit of movement in there, as you can see, without actually clicking it. And it's just kind of, rattly, I guess. So it just doesn't feel super strong or durable on that side switch. I'd like to see a little bit of a better switch there. But overall, though, I'm glad that I get a good responsive click from it. So that's nice. On the tube here, you'll see that, again, we have the same knurling that we're seeing on the entire TD line. So it's this real strong, bold knurling that they're using. Feels good. It definitely gives it kind of a bit more of that tactical feel, tactical look to it. So it's all good for me. But yeah, it fits that same TD line of knurling, so good grip there. And as we continue to move down, you'll see that we have no clip whatsoever on this, and it did not come with one. Instead, it came with the lanyard, which I went ahead and put on there. And then on the back here, we have a mechanical switch. So it's kind of tall and a little bit thicker. Very good responsive spring on that. You really hear and feel the click that you get. But I will say, when you press it in, as you can see there, how it kind of deflates, you can really feel that. You feel kind of that empty space when you click it in. And so you feel the button deflating. And so I'm really glad that it's got a good responsive spring, but I'd like to see a more solid overall rubber button used to where it doesn't have that deflating feeling to it. Okay? So moving on, we've got, as far as output, our turbo mode, and same thing on strobe mode as well, is going to put out 2200 lumens, which 2200 lumens I think is pretty good for a thrower. And that's putting out 270,000 candela. Now, stepping down to the high mode, we're looking at 900 lumens, which is going to last you 4 hours. And then on your medium mode, 350 lumens at 9 hours. And on low, 150 lumens at 15 hours. And then it does have an eco mode, which is 30 lumens at 70 hours. Now, I will show you. Here we've got the Wurkkos TS11 with the TD01. So these are both TIR lenses with SFT 40s down in there. And obviously the TD01 is significantly larger. But something I want to point out here is when I turn this on, this is a moonlight mode, okay? So that is sublumen. And I'm not getting a whole lot there. So when it's completely pitch black at night, I have a true eco mode. I have a true moonlight mode. Now, when we turn this on, you'll see how significantly brighter that is. I mean, obviously it's a much larger beam due to the size of the head and everything. But I mean, as far as brightness, it's significantly brighter, especially at night when it's pitch black. You really notice the difference. So I'd really like to see this TD01 come with a bit of a lower moonlight mode if that were possible. But that is its lowest mode at 30 lumens. Now, as far as user interface, pretty simple user interface. On and off is completely through the tail switch, meaning if you click this side switch, it does absolutely nothing while the light's off. So to turn it on, we're going to hit that tail switch, and now the light's on. So now to cycle through your output levels, you're just going to click the side switch. So you'll see we cycled there through the eco, low, medium, high, and then we can double click for turbo. So there's our turbo, and we can single click to leave it and go back to our last use setting. Okay, and then we're back to low or eco. And this also has a memory mode as well. So if you want to leave it on, say, medium mode and you turn the light off, well, then it's going to turn back into medium mode when you're done. Also, this does have a triple click from on for strobe, and a single click to get back out of it. And then we just click that tail switch to turn it right back off. So now that we've got to take a look at the user interface, let's go ahead and take a look at the beam shots. And now that we've got to take a look at the beam shots, here's some notes on this flashlight. I think that the TD01 is a great looking light for one. I really think that this just looks good. Like a lot of throwers out there, dedicated throwers, don't necessarily have the same aesthetics put into them as, say, like an EDC light. But I think this is a really good looking light. So I just think it looks like it's more expensive than what it actually is. I think it's got really impressive output. That Convoy L21B that we looked at in comparison in some of those beam shots, this is still a little bit under that L21B, and then that puts out, you know, about 1,300 meters of range as far as distance on the beam on turbo, whereas this puts out right around 1,000 meters on max distance on turbo. But that is still really good. And the fact that it comes with a TIR, which is really just good to have in your collection. If you don't have a TIR yet, I highly recommend it, because basically what it does is it takes out a lot of that spill that you see. And sometimes I really like that spill, but sometimes you want to be able to shine this in a far distance and not wake up everybody or shine on everybody's houses that are, you know, off to the side of wherever you're shining. I can shine this in between two houses and nobody would ever know, because it's not putting a bunch of spill out on their houses, if that makes sense. So I think it's really good to have a TIR lens in your collection, and this is a great one to do it with. I do think that that USB-C flap could be improved. You know, it's a little bit too easy to open in my opinion, but being on a little bit of a larger light and one that you don't really carry in your pocket, I think we can let it slide on this one. I don't think it's too big of a deal, but would have liked to have seen that little bit more discreet flap on there. And I just overall think that this is a great budget option as far as a thrower, and I think that it's a great platform. But let's take a look at price on this. So on Amazon, this runs for $65. Now it is currently 40% off, so you can get a 40% off coupon, and that will take it down to $36. And on Wurkkos Direct, it's the same exact price. I think this is a great option and a great budget platform to get yourself into a good quality thrower that hits 1,000 meters or more. Thank you for watching.